Hey everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today it is definitely time to start the December vlog because it is already the 4th of December and a lot has happened already. So first of all, I'm gonna share with you some impressions from my little trip to go visit my family and spend some time with my best friend on Christmas market. I didn't catch too many clips of that just because I'm always like in this zone when I'm with my family, but just so you get a few glimpses of how it went, and then we'll talk books. Okay, so I do have quite a few updates. Now, first of all, I want to let you know which books I'm in the middle of at the beginning of the month, and then how my reading has been going these first couple of days. So I am currently a little bit more than a quarter of the way into The Sinister Mystery of the Mesmerizing Girl by Theodora Goss. This is the third book in the series. And I really need to finish it off, but then I also have like other reading plans right now, so this is going a little bit on the back burner, but I have to finish it this month. Then I'm about 2/3 of the way into Quiet Girl in a Noisy World, which is a graphic novel by Debbie Tung. And this one is just about the experiences, so it's autobiographical of the author, and it's about being an introvert and how that complicates life. It's cute, but I just fail to like really connect with it on a deeper level. So I only have a little bit more to go now because I read some more last night, so I think I will finish this off in the next couple of days and let you know my final thoughts. And then I was halfway into my audiobook Let Your Hearts Be Light by Quin, I believe. And this is the first like seasonal audiobook I had chosen for the holidays. And it is a smutty book. So that was my first experience with smut in books, because I don't read a lot of romance, and so you have to take all of my opinions with that grain of salt. But I had fun with this book, but I also felt like because it was so very smutty, it kind of missed the like holiday cozy mark for me a little bit, even though the potential was definitely there. So in this book, we're following two men who are already in their 40s, and they both have a child each. So one of them has a daughter, and that was actually the daughter of his sister and her partner, but the sister and the partner died in an accident. So we do have a little bit of content warnings for, you know, death of family members, car accidents, even though it is all off page, but it is referred to. And then the other man is bisexual, so he had a son with a wife once, but they are separated, and he has been a lone father for a while now. And so these two children kind of come up with this plan to sign up their fathers for this buddy program for the holidays, and that way these two men are kind of smushed together and they don't like each other very much. So we do have a little bit, it's not enemies, you know, but it is like dislike to love in a way. One is grumpy, one is sunshine, you know, all the romancy terms. You can look all of that up on the website of the author, which I thought was very helpful. You can look up all the like romancy tropes that are in there, and you can also look up the content warnings on there, which I would recommend if you're interested in the book. But yeah, with this like buddy program, they are doing festive activities, but I felt like we never got to really see those because it was just focused on the smut. In the first half, we have more the focus on the like inner monologue and the thoughts of the two characters. We do get both perspectives, but then the second half was like pure smut. Like every festive activity just led up to, you know, some smutty times. So yeah, it wasn't quite what I wanted, but that is not the book's fault. It's like my fault because I just had different expectations with the setup. I wanted to see more of the holiday shenanigans, and I felt like this book was also quite jumpy because we would always like miss days in between where we don't really know what the characters did. So overall, I gave it 3.5 stars. I think if you are into holiday smut, this might be a cute one to check out. Now, keep in mind that this is a gay romance, so we have two men, and I don't have any experiences with that, so I can't tell you whether the like sex scenes were actually accurate or good. I felt like it could have talked about like safer sex a little bit more, but overall, I just still kind of liked it. And so yeah, I can't really recommend it, but I wanted to talk about it still because it is a smaller author and maybe you're interested. And so now we have to talk about two books that I just started reading, and the first one of that is These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This is a reread for me that I'm doing for the Gamenightathon readathon because I want to get to the second book in this series, because now there's like 100 books in that world and I still have not read the first one. Gee, it makes me really sad because I think Chloe Gong is a very interesting author that I want to follow more. So yeah, we're going back to the beginnings and rereading These Violent Delights. So this is inspired by Romeo and Juliet, but it is set in the 1920s in Shanghai, and we have a mysterious madness that leads to people killing themselves in a very gruesome way. And we have two gangs, kind of like rival families. We have a Chinese one, the Tsais, and then we have a Russian one. What are they called? The Montagovs. I don't like that name. It sounds weird. And so Roma and Juliet have to maybe bond together to figure out what is killing their people. So when I read this book the first time, I gave it like a 3.5 star rating. I thought it was interesting and fun, so we'll see how I feel about it the second time around. And then I also started a new audiobook. It is called The 12 Days of Christmas by Poppy Alexander. Now this is one that is set after Christmas, so it is a bit weird to read it now, but It is full of food because we have a main character who is a professional chef, and she has to return home to her little town in the UK because her mum is dying. So in this one, again, content warning for death of a parent, cancer talk, and yeah, it just deals with grief as well, but it is a romance. So when our main character is kind of lost because of her grief, she meets someone she knew like 5 years ago, a man called Finn, and he decides to take care of her and look out for her because he can see that she's not really okay. And he has a little deli, and yeah, so far I think I'm like maybe like 1.5 or 2 hours in. So much food, so much delicious food. So definitely make sure you're not hungry when you're listening to that one. And I'm intrigued to see how I like it in the end. So this is my reading so far in December, and I'll update you when something interesting happens.
There are these rings I see folks wearing around town. They're odd, to say the least. It's not just how they look.
So today is the 5th of December, and I have another very quick update. I finished my buddy read of Quiet Girl in a Noisy, I always want to say nosy, in a noisy world, last night with my friend who gifted this to me very kindly, and we finished this one off. This is a graphic novel that is autobiographical, following the experiences of our author Debbie Tung when she is finishing college, marrying her husband, and starting work life. And as you can guess from the title, this one follows or like focuses on introvert people and how they perceive the world differently. Now this is very much a inward view, so we get the experiences of this one person on it. And I must say, I'm not an introvert. I am a little bit shy, but I do generally like spending time with other people, so not a lot of this was very relatable to me. There were like little moments, but I was just lacking like a deeper connection with this book. But I think that if you have made similar experiences to the author, then this is probably much more impactful for you. There were also a couple of things that I did not really enjoy about this so much. For example, since I don't believe in like marriage and being with the same person for your whole life, all of that kind of talk was a little bit annoying to me. And then at the end, it also talks about this like Myers-Briggs personality test thing that she did, and that kind of changed her life because, yeah, I don't want to say that her experiences are wrong or something like that, but it was a little bit eye-rolly for me personally, because I don't really believe in these tests. Like, just to check, I did the test as well, and I got the exact same profile as her, but we could not be more different. As I said, I'm not even an introvert. Like, my results for their introvert scale was 52% introvert and 48% extrovert. So yeah, I just don't believe in these things so much. But yeah, it was fun, it was cute. I really like the art style. The art is very nice to look at. So in the end, I decided to give this 3.5 stars. And if you are an introvert, maybe this book will be helpful for you. I thought that the ending was also like very hopeful and very sweet, and just the tone at the end I really enjoyed again. So would recommend if you are an introvert. So today is Nikolaus in Germany, which usually you put out your shoes, and when you clean your shoes you get little gifts. And my neighbors put out these for the whole house, which is just so adorable. They even made like a little shoe shape out of it. It's so cute, and it's like filled with like apples and nuts, so very traditional. And then there's like chocolate Santa. It's so adorable, and obviously the cat has some thoughts on it as well. Okay everyone, let's just be shocked together with this popularity contest, shall we? Nah, not shocked at all. Yellowface won. I'm very happy that Yellowface won. I really like that book. Okay, historical fiction I don't care at all, but it's also not surprising, even though I've heard some concerning things about this book. So I'm not quite sure if I will ever read it. I think I have library access to it, so I might try it one day. So mystery thriller I also don't care, because the book I wanted to win did not make it in the top 10. Yeah, it's like very far down, but I really want to read Happiness Falls. I loved the first book by N.J. Kim, and I think this one's really good as well. But it is a literary thriller, so I'm not surprised. Okay, romance, Emily Henry won. No one's surprised by that. And it's not even close. Okay, that's interesting as well. I thought it would be closer, but oh well, interesting. So now romantasy, we're probably not surprised. And it's probably not close. No, it's not close at all. Look at that. Look at that. Okay. That is ridiculous. Okay. But I'm glad so many people found a book they loved. Ooh, okay, that is unexpected. That is okay, I did not see that coming. Really though? Okay, but it's quite close with Tress. And then Samantha Shannon? I am so confused. Okay, I thought this would go so differently. I really thought that Tress or Fragile Threads would win, or maybe Cassandra Clare, but Hellbent, for real. Okay, this is so different from what I expected. Okay, most of these I do want to read one day, except for all the like Greek myth retellings. I'm like so over those. But wow, okay. I'm shocked right now. I'm definitely shocked. I did not think Hellbent would win this. Wow. Still need to read it though, but it is very high on my list for next year, because I do have library access to both the first and the second book, and I definitely want to reread the first one. When I read it for the first time, I also had it out from the library, but since I've moved, I'm very glad that the library here has a digital copy of it as well. So I'll get to it next year, I promise. So science fiction, I don't care. Okay, TJ Klune won. Probably not the greatest for all the real science fiction people, because I don't know. I haven't read it. I want to read it, and I do also want to read some of these, but no strong feelings. So let's see horror. Okay, horror is going to be so interesting. It's not loading. Why is it not loading? Oh, Goodreads, no. The suspense. Okay, there we go. Okay. Stephen King won. Whatever. But hey, Grady Hendrix made it to the second place, and T. Kingfisher made it to the third place. I'm very happy about that. Yeah, King is just, it's just Stephen King. Whatever. I want to read so many of these. I'm not even kidding. But yeah, okay. Let's see the YA books. Okay, Divine Rivals won. That was also one of those books that just blew up, and I definitely want to read it. I also have library access to that, and I did not have like very strong feelings about this category. I voted for Foxglove, but it's not like my favorite book ever, so I'm not mad that it didn't win. I didn't expect it to win. And young adult fiction, for real though? Oh well, okay. So
yeah, I have no idea about this book. I didn't even see it anywhere or anything, so whatever. I voted for Boy or Girl Unearthed, and that's one of my favorite books of the year, so I'm a bit sad that it is not higher up, but then on the other hand, am I surprised? No. Okay, debut novel is Wayward again. Okay. Oh well, as I said, not so interested in it. Okay, that is interesting as well. I think this is quite a short book, so maybe more people have read it as well. Okay. This is also like, look at those votes. I would have voted for Page Boy. That's the only one I probably would have picked up from all of these. Now, all these other categories I don't really care about, so... Oh, but Leslie Jones is second place. That's a book I'm definitely interested in, but the audiobook doesn't come out for like another year for some reason, so we'll see. Okay, that was an interesting experience. Definitely some surprises. Hellbent. But yeah, this was fun. It doesn't really mean anything, but I still always think it's kind of interesting what people are liking and reading throughout the year.
So today is the 9th of December, and that means it is officially the start of the Lightfall Magical Readathon. Readathon? That does not make any sense, but you know what I mean. Today we are starting this little readathon, and I do have some reading updates, but I'm in a little bit of a hurry right now, so I'll have to do those later, because today I invited friends over for baking. So this morning I have prepared the kitchen so we can just start baking right away, and I'll head to the train station now to pick them up, and maybe I will even remember to film some clips. Usually I don't, but we'll see. But yeah, I have a very fun day planned, and I will talk to you soon with the reading updates. So today is the 10th of December. I had such a lovely day yesterday. We made so many cookies, we decorated them. It was so much fun. So I thought now is the time to give you my reading update. Now, for my physical reading, I've been really slacking. I am a third of the way through These Violent Delights, and this book is not on my Lightfall TBR, so I have to get through this one to get to the sequel, which is on my Lightfall TBR, so we'll see how that will work out. This is a reread for me. I am enjoying it, but yeah, I'm just so busy. I don't really have time to read with my eyeballs. But I did finish my audiobook 12 Days of Christmas by Poppy Alexander. I don't think I really updated you on it in between, but I could be wrong about that. So in this one, we're following our main character, who is like a chef. She went to Paris to train to be like a very proficient chef. But now she has come back to her hometown in Great Britain because her mother has cancer and she's actually passed away at the beginning of the book. And so now our main character is kind of lost, and we spend the 12 days of Christmas with her, just seeing how she kind of gets her life back together, I guess. So this deals with grief, with the loss of a parent, but also with the question whether she has the genetic disposition to get this kind of cancer as well, because for her mother it was genetic. So these are definitely kind of content warnings, because I usually don't like reading books about cancer. It's a bit too personal for me too, but I felt like this book still did a good job of keeping the balance with this being more of a cozy holiday read, but then dealing with these darker themes. Now, because our main character is a chef, this also deals with food a lot. And she actually meets like a childhood friend that she had a crush on, and they're kind of hitting it off, and there is a lot of food talk in this one. So if you enjoy that, would definitely recommend this book. At the end, you also get 12 recipes because they are cooking for the 12 days of Christmas. You have a reading update too? No? So you can actually make all of the recipes in the book yourself, which I thought was a really cute idea as well. So that's the basic setup. Then we also meet some side characters, and with one of the side characters it also talks about unwanted pregnancy, so another content warning there. But I also enjoyed the way that this played out. And yeah, overall, I had a lot of fun listening to this. I would definitely recommend if you're interested in the themes. And I decided to give it 3.5 stars in the end. It wasn't groundbreaking, but it was a lovely read to just have on in the background during the holiday time. And so now I started a new audiobook. I started 3 Holidays and a Wedding. I cannot believe this right now. Oh my god. Literally a no. I always have to defend my food. It's just like one last cookie I didn't finish for breakfast. Okay, yeah, my new audiobook, and this one is for the Lightfall Readathon. It is the last book I added to my wish list. I do have a little clip to prove that.
Okay, so here's proof that 3 Holidays and a Wedding is the top of my wish list. And so now we're gonna get it.
And in this one we are following 2 main characters. Forgot the names again, obviously. But one is a girl who's kind of alone in the world, but she found a new boyfriend who's from a very, very rich family. She thinks that everything is perfect, and she expects that her boyfriend will actually propose to her during Christmas. And so she's on a flight to go meet his family for the first time. And then we have a second main character, and she is Muslim, and her sister decided to get married at the end of Ramadan. So they're going to Canada for the wedding. And these 2 main characters, they randomly meet at the airport and kind of, yeah, they sit next to each other on the plane, and then there is like turbulence and they're both afraid of flying, so they kind of start confessing stuff to each other because they're so scared. And now they are stuck in a different Canadian city. They wanted to go to Toronto, I think, and now they're in Ottawa. So yeah, this is kind of chaotic. I'm really looking forward to it. I think I've listened to about 2 hours so far, and I'm really enjoying the tone. This is set in 2000, so it is a little bit historical, which no, it is not. But yeah, it is also odd to think about a world before 9/11, obviously, especially when it's talking about planes and stuff. But so far I'm really liking it, and I'm intrigued to see how it all plays out. And this is the cat when she doesn't get the food she wants. She will just hold my laptop hostage. I cannot recommend getting a cat, honestly. Like, what is this?
Yes, that is true. Yeah. Because I have this issue. I feel like this is kind of correct. Let me get
So today is the 13th of December, and it's one of those days that doesn't really get light. Like, I'm sitting right in front of the window right now to get a little bit of light for filming, and it's probably still looking very horrible, so I'm sorry. But I am now halfway through my audiobook, 3 Holidays and a Wedding, and I thought I'd give you a quick update because I'm definitely enjoying my time with it. It's very cute, very sweet. It has this like festive innocence to it that I really enjoy. I did expect it to be a little bit more chaotic, to be honest, so it could have gone a bit further with the family shenanigans. But apart from that, I'm having a lot of fun listening to this one, and it does feel quite inclusive. On the other hand, because of that, it has a little bit of maybe, you know, more positivity than the real world would have. So I have seen some comments that, especially for this being set in 2000, this wouldn't be very realistic or something like that. But honestly, if I do festive reads, I'm not going in for the realism. So in this basic setup, we have 2 girls who meet on a flight. We have, oh god, what are their names? Mariam and Anna. And Anna is kind of alone. Her father has passed away and she had a stepmom, and they always celebrated Christmas and Hanukkah in their house. And then Mariam is part of an kind of Indian Muslim family. So her parents came from India, and her like grandfather was a Bollywood director, which I think is such a sweet touch. And they meet on this plane, but then they have to emergency land in this like very small town in Canada, and it is full of like the Christmas magic, but then, as I said, like super accepting people who also know quite a lot about like all of these different religious holidays, which is great to see. But as I said, it's not necessarily the most realistic, I guess, but it is also mentioned in the book, so our characters are also a little bit confused how inclusive this town is. So I think it's just fun and cute, and if you don't want to have all the like racism and hate crime talk, then this is quite the cute read. And we do have 2 budding romances in this one. With Mariam, we have a romance with one of her like childhood friends that she had a crush on for many years, and so that is kind of happening, but then her family have warned her that he has kind of a bad reputation in their community, so she isn't quite sure what to believe. And with Anna, she is in a relationship at the beginning of the book, but we can see that it is not a very healthy and successful one. And so you could say that this involves some cheating, depending on how you define cheating, but she does kind of ask her boyfriend for a break. So they're not technically actively dating during this book, basically. It's a little bit complicated. I just wanted to mention it because I know that some people have feelings about that. But yeah, she meets a film star, and that's like one of my buzzwords, like movie making in books. I just love it. So she meets this film star, but he pretends to be just a normal guy, and so around halfway of the book, I mean, you know it if you read the description of the book, basically, but around halfway through the book, Anna finds out, and so now we're dealing with the repercussions of that and her struggles of, does he even exist in the real world, basically. So yeah, I'm having so much fun with this book. This update was so rambly and long. I'm so sorry. I don't know why my mind is making it so difficult right now. But it's a cute book, and I'm intrigued to see how it ends, and I'll let you know once I've finished. And then I have 40 pages left in These Violent Delights. I'm so close, but I'm also so busy. So I will let you know when I've finished this, but I'm not very hopeful that it will be today. Because I do have a work event tonight, so the day is very full, very busy. But let's hope, fingers crossed, that I can get this done finally and move on to my actual Lightfall TBR. So today is the 15th of December. I can't believe we're almost halfway through the month now, but I do have a reading update because I finally finished my reread of These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This is a 1920s Shanghai fantasy book that is inspired by Romeo and Juliet. Do not expect a retelling here. It's definitely more of an inspired story. We have a few things that will remind you of Romeo and Juliet, but the whole story is completely different. And so in this one, we are following our characters Juliet and Roma, who are the heirs to different gangster families, and they live in Shanghai in the 1920s. And there is a mysterious illness that's very gory and has to do with bugs. So be warned, this does get a little bit disgusting at points, but I really enjoyed it. I actually enjoyed it more than when I read it the first time 3 years ago, because I think now I knew what I would get, and so I was thoroughly entertained. And also I had the time to read most of this in one go, which also didn't happen when I read this the first time. I did read it for a book club 3 years ago, and I remember that the people in the book club didn't really like it, so that might also have just tainted my enjoyment a little bit. So I'm glad I gave this a reread, and now I'm fully immersed in the world again. I know where all of the characters are at, and I can finally read the conclusion to this first duology in this world. But before I do that, I do have one book I wanted to read for Lightfall, and I'm gonna try to squeeze it in this weekend. And that would be Whiteout. This has many authors: Dhonielle, Clayton, Tiffany D. Jackson, Nick Stone, Angie Thomas, Ashley Woodfolk, and Nicola Yoon. This is the sequel to Blackout, which I've read in the summer, so now I want to continue on, and this just looks so festive and sweet. So I hope this will be a lovely, quick read. Even though it looks tiny, it's still almost 300 pages, so we'll see how it goes. But I tried to finish it this weekend for the Lightfall Readathon. This will probably not happen in this vlog because I think I will stop the vlog after tomorrow. But yeah, we're not doing so well because I had 3 books on my TBR for Lightfall, and I think I will only get to 2 of them. I'm now almost done with my audiobook. I have 1 hour left, so I will update you on that tomorrow when I finished it. And that would be my first Lightfall book that I finished. And then this is my potential second I can still finish in time. But that's alright, you know, December is always stressful, so I'm happy I'm getting 2 books in general. So yeah, that's it for today and my reading plans. I'll update you once I've finished my audiobook. And then these 2 pretty books will go back to the library unread, unfortunately. So it is the 16th of December, the last day of this vlog, and I do have some updates. Yesterday I finished my audiobook 3 Holidays and a Wedding. This one has 2 authors and that is just too much to remember for me, but I really enjoyed the book. It was so much fun. I think this was my favorite holiday book that I've read this year. I probably won't read more just because of time limitations, because I do have some other audiobook plans now. I will get into that in a minute, but yeah, in this one we have the whole like plane being stuck in a Canadian little town, and then having people from like different faith coming together and celebrating their holidays like pretty much all in one. And it was so cute. It was so much fun. I wouldn't say it was very original. I think the tropes that we get are all very much, yeah, cliche, like been there, done that. But just like the overall feeling of the book, I very much enjoyed. I like the characters quite a lot. And I think if you like these kind of snowed in small town romances, there will be something here for you. As I said, one of my buzzwords is movie cruise. And so I had fun with that aspect of the story as well, even though, as I said, the whole like plot of that is not very original. So I gave it 4 stars, and I would recommend if you're looking for a holiday book to read this December. So for my next audiobook, I now started The Kingdom of Sweets by Erika Johansen. When I heard about this, it became one of my most anticipated books of the year. So excited for this. I love the Barbie Nutcracker movie so much. And so I hope that this will give me like similar plot points, I guess, but darker vibes, I think. So I'm about, I don't know, maybe half an hour, a little bit more into it right now. And so far I'm really enjoying it. We do have a little bit of a twist with this one because we're following 2 sisters. We have Clara, who is the main character of the original story, but we're actually following her twin sister, Natasha. And at the beginning of the book, Drosselmeyer is cursing them in a way. So he assigns Clara to be light and Natasha to be dark, and we see how that influences their lives. And what I really appreciate about this book right now is that even though they have this difference and Clara is perceived as the perfect one, everyone wants to be around her, and Natasha is seen as the like dangerous, cursed one, the 2 sisters actually have a good relationship. They're very close and they kind of complement each other in a way. And I love that because it would be so easy to make them hate each other. But I like that twist that they actually get along well. And so far we're just leading up to the Christmas party, so we'll see what happens there, and then probably some more fantasy elements will pop up. I'm so excited for this one, you can't even imagine. So I will update you on that book in next week's vlog because I don't think I will read it all today. And then I have another book that I started last night, Whiteout. And last night I managed to read the first 75 pages. So it's not impossible that I finished this today, but I would say it is a little bit unlikely. We'll see. If I do, I will update you on it before I end the vlog. But the first, so basically with this one, this is the sequel to Blackout in a way, but I think that all of the people we meet in here are completely separate, or at least I didn't recognize anyone, but that might be my mistake, I'm not quite sure. But we have a different setting in this one. We are in Atlanta. The first one I think was set in New York City. And Atlanta is suffering a whiteout. And the overarching like frame story is about 2 girls. But the one we're mostly following, Stevie, seems to be struggling with her gender identity a little bit. She doesn't really want to be called a girl right now, but she still uses she pronouns and stuff like that in the book. So we'll see how that plays into the story. But basically, Stevie is a very scientific person who loves to test hypotheses, and she messed it up big time with her girlfriend Sola, and she wants to fix it. Like, this is all about her trying to fix it. And we have different other characters who are friends of theirs, who we also see helping them, and meanwhile maybe having their own like little holiday miracles, I guess. So the first one of those stories I read last night, we're following a boy and a girl who have been like best friends for many years, and now the boy Kaz finally wants to tell his friend that he's actually in love with her. but he's waiting for the perfect time. And while they're out trying to get something for Stevie, they're stuck in the mall because of the snow. I really liked this one. I liked it because it kind of reminded me a little bit of my previous audiobook, 3 Holidays and a Wedding, because in this one we also discuss different holidays, not just Christmas, because Cass is Muslim. So I really enjoyed that one. I thought it was very cute, and I'm excited to read the rest of this book now.
Inside a snowflake, like the one on the
Okay, so here we have the visuals where we are at right now at the 16th of December with my readathon reading. So this is for Gamenightathon. I finished 3 books so far, almost done with the bingo. Here we have the Lightfall visual, and so far I've visited 2 shops. I have visited the Rich Pigeon pub and then the Arcane Goods store, and maybe if I'm very good tomorrow I will manage to go to the Winter Manimals store. And then this is how my little self-care challenge for Lightfall is going. I did not roll these, I just went with what felt right for the day, but I've been doing quite good with that. Some of the days I even did multiple ones, but I always just ticked off one, basically. So quite successful so far with the readathons. So it is the 17th of December and I'm gonna finish the vlog here. Last night I didn't really read a lot. I just decided to watch The Grinch instead, which was lovely and just what I needed yesterday, so it's fine. I did finish the second full story in here, which was Evan Rose, or ER. And in this one we are following a girl who is in an all-girls school, and there she falls in love with a girl and they start dating, but now they have broken up because it just got a little bit too much and too intense for our main character, but they're still going home together to our main character's family for the holidays. So they just landed at the Atlanta airport but now are stuck there because of the snow. And then the summer fling of our main character is at the same airport, basically. And it's a guy, so we do have some kind of a plurisex main character in this one, even though it is not specified. And she's obviously struggling with her identity, trying to figure it out, because she says that she did identify as a lesbian until she met the summer fling. And so we do have a little bit of a love triangle situation here, and I just felt a little bit uncomfortable with that, just because that is such a cliche for plurisex people, that, you know, we're unfaithful, or that we can't decide between the sexes, and so that just felt a bit odd. And then also the way the story ended, our main character isn't really making an active choice. So it's more decided for her, which felt even more weird to me. So I didn't really like that second story, but I'm pretty sure that this one was written by Nick Stone. It doesn't really say in here, but we have like a little riddle in the end where you can kind of guess who wrote which parts. And so I'm pretty sure that that was Nick Stone, and her story in Blackout was also my least favorite. So I think we're just not vibing so much. So I am more than a third of the way through that one, and I hope to finish it this weekend, so I'll talk more about it in my next part of the vlog. And then I'm also a third of the way into Kingdom of Sweets already, because yesterday I did do a lot of things where I could listen to my audiobook, and I am enjoying it. I loved the beginning, but now that we're in the Kingdom of Sweets, it is quite a bit nonsensical, which I guess is the whole idea of this, but because I was doing chores while listening to it, I often had situations where I just wasn't completely focusing for a couple of seconds, and then the scenes would change so quickly that I would be completely lost, and I'd be like, okay, where are we now? And it's not like I zoned out for minutes or minutes. It was just like short seconds that usually in other books don't really make a difference. So that's a little bit of a struggle. And then I said in my previous update that I really enjoyed that the sisters are still friends even though they are so different. But then something happens that kind of challenges that, and I'm quite intrigued to see how the book will handle that whole situation now. I do have an idea, and if that's what the book is doing, I will enjoy it, but it is a little bit up in the open right now. So that's all I have for a reading update for you. I hope you enjoyed watching this vlog. Let me know if you did. Leave a like or a nice comment. I always appreciate those. And I will talk to you soon with more Christmassy and end of the year content. Bye!